two places with different paces. We in trouble, but you won't meet me at the bridge. It hurts, it feels disturbing. Did you forget where your heart lives?
Hey y'all, so welcome back to my channel. My name is Tani. This is the life of Tani, but I am Black Phoenix. Y'all, today is March the 23rd, I believe. Let me check and make sure. Yeah, Saturday, March 23rd. So y'all, today we're just gonna talk hair. We're gonna talk hair business. I'm actually doing my hair right now. I have my elastic band on top of my head so that I can be able to tie it down because I put some spray on it this time. Before I was doing like my glue downs using my glue and stuff, but this time I just decided to use spray. But anyways, y'all, today we're gonna talk hair. We're gonna talk hair vendors. We're gonna talk the differences between different hair, because my channel is based off of hair. It's based off of lifestyle, self-confidence, things like that. So I do want to talk about hair today, just to give you guys some information if you are looking to be in the hair industry. Now, I currently do not sell hair at the moment on a website, but I do plan on cranking my hair business back up and rebranding and reselling hair again soon. But right now I'm just focusing on one thing and one venture at a time. So we're gonna start talking about hair now, y'all. First we're gonna talk about like the differences in between hair and what hair you are interested in selling. Now, me personally, I sold a variety of different types of hair, and I don't recommend that for people who are just getting started. Like, if you don't know hair, you don't know the difference between virgin hair, Remy hair, raw hair, etc., then you don't need to be selling a whole bunch of different varieties of hair, because it can be very confusing, especially when you are sourcing and dealing with vendors. It can be very confusing, it can be very expensive, and then you can easily get mixed up. And then when customers are asking you questions about, well, what's the difference in this? Why is this more expensive than this? Why is your virgin hair more expensive than that? When people start doing that, you can easily get confused and don't know what to tell them. But me personally, what I used to do is, that's why I had so many different boxes. I don't know if y'all can see behind me, like I have some silver boxes at the top. That was my premium hair. That was my raw hair. So if you do decide to do it like me and do different types and offer different qualities at different price ranges, which is what I used to have on my website, and I will pop a few clips in here of how I had my website set up, because I had different tiers of hair to sell to different audiences of customers, because I could not find my direct audience. I just didn't have the marketing skills, and I didn't have the marketing team in play, as you will. I just didn't have my marketing down pat. And so I felt like if I could create a bunch of different genres and just offer where people could come on there and pick and choose what was right for them, that's what I did for my website. I didn't really see many hair businesses doing that, so I tried to stand out. But I would get, I'm not gonna mention any names, but people would actually come to my website and pick off ideas and then use them for themselves. It's nothing wrong with that. I see it as inspiration, but like, if you're gonna do that, at least give the person credit where you get it from, and don't try to make it seem like it's your own just because you're bigger than that brand and you feel like nobody knows about them. But you know, that's neither here nor there, but that's what used to happen to me, which is what made me discouraged a lot and made me discontinue my own website and everything, because I actually was on the verge of losing it anyway, because I couldn't afford to keep it. It was a lot to keep the website going. So I just gave it up or whatever, and I am going to restart it and revamp and just do everything all over and do things differently this time. And I think I am still going to offer that same setup that I had before, like a variety for different people with different price ranges. Like, I came up with everything, the verbiage, I came up with everything. So the way mine was set up, I offered my diva wigs, I offered my express wigs, I offered my diamond quality, my BPLUX, and my Mad Max collection. I had like 5 different collections of hair. Oh, and my goddess wigs. So I had 6, you know, stuff like that. And then I had my premium wigs, which were the ones in the silver boxes. Those were raw top tier. They could be dyed and bleached up to 60A. If you guys know hair, you know 60A is like a white blonde versus that yellow blonde. So I just had a bunch of different things going on. And at first I did get confused, but since I have been working with hair and have knowledge of the hair industry since about 2000, I think I started about 2012, something like that, when I was still living in Arizona, because in Arizona there were no hair stores. There were hair stores, but they were not offering hair. They were offering trash, like bird's nest hair. So that's what made me start looking into the hair industry. And then I would stumble across people like Ming Lee, you know, and just different girls who were in the hair industry, and hear their testimonies and stories. And I'm just like, hey, well, if they are making this type of money off of hair or whatever, I know I can make bank off of hair. You know what I'm saying? I can sell hair, I could do this and that. And it didn't really go like that for me because I was such an underdog in the industry. And when you don't have proper marketing, you tend to get a little bit desperate because you do want your business to work. You want things to work for your business. So you will get a little bit desperate, and then you'll start to do things like paying influencers, which is what I did. And you can easily get scammed out of thousands of dollars worth of hair and free product or money or whatever it is that you're offering these influencers, especially if their audience is a fan-based audience and not an actual buying audience. And that's what I learned the hard way, that a lot of the people who I was paying and giving free wigs and stuff to, their audience was just there to watch them. They were not there to buy a damn thing that they were selling. They couldn't even sell their audience a brown paper bag. All they were there to do was entertain their audience, and that's all their audience was there for. Like, I didn't even get an inquiry, you know what I'm saying, about my wigs or anything after giving people $500 wigs, $700 wigs. You know, all I got in exchange for that was like a couple photos and a few 40-second or 1-minute videos, and that was just simply not enough for me. I don't recommend anybody do that because you will end up losing a lot of money and wasting a lot of your time. And then at the end of the day, you'll feel a lot of regret about sending out all these products to these people who basically don't give a damn about you or your brand. They're just getting free shit from you. So I don't recommend doing that. What I do recommend you do is your research. If you are not the type of person that's into purchasing like vendor lists, because I used to purchase vendor lists. There was a girl that I actually purchased my first vendor list. I'm not going to mention her name, but she started out here on YouTube from New York. And I purchased my first vendor list, I think from her or a couple vendors. I don't know if I did a list or if I was just purchasing individual vendors, but she used to rave so much about her Indian hair vendor and all that stuff. And, you know, I was familiar with different origins of hair, Indian hair, you know, Cambodian hair, Vietnamese hair before it got popular. I was familiar with all of that. I was digging into a lot. Laotian hair from Laos, those people, Indonesian hair, Burmese hair from Burma, Filipino hair from the Philippines, like all of that stuff. I was doing a lot of that stuff back in like 2012, 2013. I just was doing so much research before it became a thing for people to now be purchasing like Vietnamese hair and stuff like that. So I did build good relationships with a lot of my Vietnamese vendors. That's where I get a lot of my closures and my raw hair and stuff made from. I don't get my stuff really from China like that. They are starting to branch out into buying from Vietnamese suppliers. I've seen as of late that a lot of Chinese vendors are buying Vietnamese hair and offering that now. But, you know, I'm still going to stick with the people who I've been rolling with for the past 10 years or so. So I don't recommend doing that if you I'm not saying that it's bad to get hair. If you have a trusted Chinese supplier that is offering Vietnamese hair, I recommend that you test it out first before just ordering in bulk. Don't do that. Just order 1 or 2 bundles. Test it out. See if you can bleach it first, because that's going to be the most important thing. This hair that I have in my head right now, I don't know if y'all can see this brown color, but this is like a number 27. So if you're dealing with Remy hair normally does not bleach past a number 27, which is like this brown, this brown color here. Remy hair will not bleach past that. They will try to confuse you with verbiage and say things like Remy hair and virgin hair, and then you don't know, if you're not in the hair industry, you don't know what they're talking about. And then Vietnamese people, they have a different language as well. You can't go to them and just say you want virgin hair or you want raw hair, because they're gonna send you Remy hair. Sometimes to them, their virgin hair is their Remy hair, which is this right here, where it won't bleach past 27. So sometimes that is their actual definition of their virgin hair. Their raw hair has another name and another meaning behind it. So you have to be careful with how you speak to them and what you ask for, because if you ask for virgin hair and you don't know what you're talking about, and you're not being specific with explaining to them basically of what type of virgin hair you're looking for. Like, I'm not looking for virgin hair that can't bleach up to this, or I'm not looking for virgin hair that's not full from top to bottom, because a lot of them operate by a system of single drawn, double drawn, super double drawn. So the super double drawn is going to be more expensive than the single. The single is basically like just one. Just imagine when you take tracks out of your head. I'm just going to pull out a track. This is an old raggedy track, y'all, so it's got glue on it and everything, but it's just for an example. So just imagine a track. Now this track right here is actually considered double. Y'all, now excuse the glue on it, but this is actually considered double. A single drawn is thinner than this. Double just means that they double wefted it. If I was to take a razor and split this in half, this would be considered, that would be considered single drawn, versus this right here, which is a bit thicker, where they put two wefts together instead of just one. And then also the lengths of hair that they use in it. When you're dealing with single drawn, you're gonna have different lengths of hair throughout the bundle. You're gonna have like 18, if it's supposed to be 24 inches, it's gonna be, some of it is 18 inch, some of it may be 20 inch, some of it may be 16 inch, and then the rest of it at the bottom is a 24 inch. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something, when it comes to raw hair, raw real hair, it's measured, like it's weighed by the ounce. So let's say for instance you want a 28 inch raw, nothing raw, just I want it cut one ponytail. That ounce of that ponytail may only be like 3.2 ounces. And then you're looking for a big fat bundle like you normally will get from China. You're not gonna get that if you're actually looking for getting raw, real, it's cut from one ponytail. You can suggest to them that they try to find someone else with the same length and the same type of feel of hair, and they can try to put that together and make you a bigger bundle. But then you run the risk of this person may have taken care of their hair one way, and this person may have taken care of their hair another way, and then you do run the risk of the cuticles not being completely aligned, or you run the risk of some type of shedding at some point, or tangling at some point, or even shedding at some point. But all of these wefts do shed. You know, you just have to either seal them, ask them to seal them, or have them make sure that they have the means when they're actually putting the wefts together, that they have a method where they actually sew their wefts really, really well, and they don't come unraveling apart, where you don't experience any shedding after they put the wefts together. So you can request those things. You just have to know how to talk to these people and communicate with them and ask for what you want. But yeah, those are a few pointers that I learned as I've been like in the hair industry, and that's why I receive good hair. Before I have not always received good hair. I have received trash hair. I have been scammed. And then I'm gonna tell you something else. If you are a girl that's looking to get raw hair of 40 inches, you know, and you're getting it from certain Vietnamese vendors, the longest length a lot of them carry is not 40 inches for raw hair. Like, it's going to be expensive out the ass if you can find someone that actually grew their hair 40 inches and it is raw pure. You're gonna probably end up getting virgin hair or Remy hair, which is where they put all those lengths together to make that 40 inches. So you're not gonna be getting a 40-inch complete raw bundle. Now in China, you can probably be able to find some 40-inch bundles, some 38-inch bundles or something like that. But do know that the longer the length, the thinner the bundle. We all should know that by now. It's 2024. So you just know that. I'm not saying that all hair from China is bad, because I actually still do have a really good trusted, actually maybe 2 or 3 good trusted Chinese suppliers that I've been working with for years now, that I get really, really good quality hair from. I've been shopping with them since like 2013 or so. So they have really, really excellent, good quality hair, and I trust them to supply me for my BPLUX wigs and etc. I wish one day that I could take a trip over to China and go to different places to, like, you know, visit those factories and get my wigs and stuff like that. So I had to go and grab my mousse because my hair was dry or whatever. So yeah, I was just saying, I wish that I could like take a trip one of these days. I'm not gonna say I wish, I am gonna take a trip one of these days over to visit some of these factories that I've been working with and deal with, and do like a hands-on where I get to go in there and feel and pick out my own hair and etc. But because if you do have the means to do that, I recommend that you do that as well. At least you can put, when you are talking to them, you can put a face behind who you're speaking to, and they can put a face behind who they're dealing with and doing business with. And they'll treat you a lot better, because they'll see that you're basically serious about what you're, you know, purchasing from them. And they'll make sure that they set you up with someone that will cater to you and your account only. Like, you won't get bounced all over the place with all these different people in the factory, because upon doing that, if they don't feel like you're serious enough about purchasing hair, or you're just gonna be one of those one-time customers, they're gonna send you whatever. Like, they're gonna send you whatever. They're gonna send you to whoever. You're just gonna get whatever, because they know that you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know what's going on anyway. So they may be like, okay, you may contact them and say, oh, I want the best quality that you have, blah, blah, blah. And then they send you their 10A hair, because they feel like you're not, you know, you're saying the best quality, you don't know what's going on. They're gonna send you 10A hair. A lot of them still do operate off that 10A, 8A, 5A system. A lot of them still operate off of that, especially in China. And then some of the Vietnamese vendors have adapted that as well. I don't know if you guys have dealt with Laotian hair, but I have dealt with Laotian hair. It's just another form of like Southeast Asian hair, but I actually talked to a vendor. We still communicate. I just haven't purchased hair in a long time, but he sent me over to his brother, and his brother is the one that sources the hair for him, and then he gets the hair and then he sells it to people like myself. So I was, asking a lot of questions about their origins and their types of hair and stuff like that. Their hair, the Laotian hair, is actually a lot thicker than the Vietnamese hair. Now, some people will get confused and be like, oh, with Vietnamese hair, it's just so silky. Not all Vietnamese hair is silky. You can request, if you have this type of supplier, I'll just make that disclaimer. If you have that type of supplier, you can request certain textures of their hair. Like, I'm not talking about body wave, curly, because all of that stuff is made up. They don't have those types of textures often in those countries like that. They're not walking around with curly hair, or they're not walking around with, ocean wavy, whatever hair, or body wave hair. They're not doing that. They normally will steam it, where they put rods and stuff in it, and they'll steam it on like the floor in a big area that they have designated for hair or something like that. And then once it's dry, they'll package it up and send it to you. That's why sometimes when you get hair from Vietnam and you wash it and it's extremely dirty, it's because it's probably been sitting on the concrete floor drying in there with the rods in it to give you that S curl, or that fun me, or whatever it's called, curl pattern that a lot of you guys like. So that's not a real thing. Their hair is either going to be straight or it's going to have like a natural wavy, like a slight waviness to it. It's not going to be curly because those people don't have curly hair like that in those countries. So but some of them do have coarser hair, and some of the times you can ask for coarser Vietnamese hair. That to them is considered like Cambodian hair, because a lot of Vietnamese people do source hair from Cambodia. They don't do it often because a lot of their customer base like the more silky textured hair, which is what they have. And normally that is the texture of Vietnamese hair. It's more silky, it's more soft, it's more, like run your finger through type, hair like that, straight or whatever. But if you do want a little bit more texture to it, a little bit more coarseness, you can ask, hey, well, I still want Vietnamese hair, but do you have one that's a little bit more medium, like in a medium coarse or coarser? One, I want Vietnamese hair that's not as silky. And some of them will be able to make accommodations for you if they are like large enough to source that type of hair, because not all Vietnamese people have silky hair. Some of them do have coarse hair, but they don't really get a lot of demand for that type of hair. Me personally, I am a lover of coarser type hair. When I was getting hair and stuff, at first I did start off getting the silky hair, but then I'm just like, the silky hair is all good and everything, but I like a little bit more coarseness to my hair, like a little bit more texture, so that when I do flat iron it, it looks, like it could have been a permed African American type texture of hair, instead of it's just silky and it just flat out looks like that's not your hair. I hate when people ask, like a black woman, is that your hair? Or when someone walks up to you, oh, I love the way your wig looks. Why are we doing that in like 2024? Like, do y'all walk up to a white girl or Hispanic girl and say, what type of hair is that in your head? Or do you just assume that it's hers? Because a lot of them do purchase hair extensions. A lot of them were my customers. White and Hispanic girls were a lot of my customers, as well as the black women. But I do like a more coarse type of hair. That's why I used to get either coarser Vietnamese, or I would ask my Vietnamese vendor, did they have any Cambodian hair like on hand? Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. And then it got to the point where I was purchasing and I had such a good relationship with my vendor that we would actually discuss, hey, she'll basically let me know. And it's a lady. Sometimes I deal with the lady, sometimes I deal with the man, but she would let me know, like, hey, I'm gonna go out and source hair today. Would you like for me to look for you some Cambodian hair while I'm out? And I'll be like, yes, of course, sure. And then, but a lot of the times, the longest lengths that I could get was like 28 inches. And I used to be like a 32 inch girl like that or whatever. I used to really, really like long hair. But if I could get 28 inches, that was great for me. But that's normally the longest length. And like I was saying before, let me start doing my hair, because y'all, I'll sit here and just keep talking. You will find that the longest lengths, if you're looking for stuff like 40-inch hair and stuff like that, you're not going to be getting no virgin hair or raw hair most of the time. You're going to be getting Remy hair, where they put together a lot of different lengths, and they also source from a lot of different donors, not vendors. I found, upon doing a lot of research, when I was like really, really digging off into everything, just trying to figure stuff out on my own. So I did a lot of in-depth research and asking a lot of questions, and a lot of stuff I found out was through trial and error. Like purchasing through trial and error and stuff like that, because I couldn't go over there and put my hands on anything. So a lot of that was how I was able to find stuff out, just by trial and error. And then I made notes of it and told myself, the next time when I order hair, I'm going to say this or I'm going to say that, if that makes sense. Like that's just how I started doing things, because I was getting scammed a lot. And then when you are dealing with people overseas like that, China, they do accept PayPal. If you get hair off of AliExpress, you know, you're protected up under to a certain degree with that. But like a lot of the Vietnamese vendors, a lot of the Indian vendors, a lot of the vendors from Myanmar, if you've ever purchased hair from Myanmar, Burma, you know, they don't accept PayPal. They don't have PayPal, some of them in their country. They only have like Western Union, MoneyGram, you know, bank transfer, stuff like that. So you'll end up sending them money. You have to really trust these people to send them money through Western Union, you know, things like that where you can't get your money back. So I ended up like sending, just like when I had placed the order for some hair from where did I get hair from? Indonesia. I do not recommend buying hair from just any Indonesian vendor, because you will get sent anything. They are not really, it's only a certain small, very small demographic of people selling hair from Indonesia. I do not recommend purchasing from just anybody over there, because you will get scammed. They will send you any hair for ridiculous amounts of prices. I ended up purchasing, I think maybe like 10 bundles from an Indonesian vendor. I was just like, oh, Indonesian hair, this is gonna be different. Nobody has this, nobody's offering this. So I ended up purchasing like 10 bundles of hair from there. And that 10 bundles of hair with all of the shipping and stuff that they charged me ended up running me like $770 something. And then I had to be responsible for like the money fee or whatever for Western Union and stuff like that. So I think in total I may have paid about $800 after all of that. And they sent me hair, but when I got the hair stunk so bad. No matter what I did, the smell would not get out of the hair. The hair stunk so bad, I was embarrassed to wear it, yet alone sell it. And then it just had like this moldy, I can't explain. It was just like this moldy, just old, wet, disgusting smell. Like it has been sitting on the floor inside of a pile of mold. And they just was like, well, we got somebody that believed us. Let's wash this hair up and just send it to them. And that's what it smelled like. And you could not get the smell out of the hair. I tried the fabric softener method that everybody used to try back in the day. That didn't work. I tried shampooing it multiple times, clarifying it multiple times. That didn't work. And then when I did my test on it to bleach the hair didn't lift at all. It didn't even lift to this. It didn't even lift to this brown, this 27. It didn't even lift to that. It didn't lift at all. So I basically got sent just whatever hair that they had. I don't even know if that was human hair. I don't know what it was, but it wouldn't even bleach. It wouldn't do anything. So I was stuck with hair that I paid $800 for, and I couldn't do anything with it. So I just kind of like made like these glue wigs. Like I just started gluing tracks and just making wigs like that or whatever, and just kind of like displaying those wigs and making videos for content and stuff like that. That's what I started to use those for, just like display hair wigs, which was so sad. And I don't recommend that y'all buy any hair from Indonesia unless you have a actual trusted supplier that you have purchased from numerous of times. Do not just buy hair from these people one time and then tell yourself you're gonna order 50 bundles or 100 bundles. Y'all need to be testing this hair more than once. Make them wait. Drag them the way that they would drag you out of your money. You have to drag these vendors. That's another thing that I've learned. You can't just, some vendors, not all, you can't just purchase a sample of 1 or 2 pieces and then you get it and, oh yeah, oh my God, this is so good. And then you just go back and then you start ordering like 100 pieces from them, because they can send you 2 good pieces of hair to trick you over there. And then once you get over there and you buy 50 to 100 pieces, they send you garbage and they got your money and it's nothing you can do about it. Like that, y'all have to be careful with that. The way to avoid that is drag them. Drag it out. Order you 1 to 2 pieces. Test that out for about, I don't know, however long. I don't know what your case may be. You may need hair, ASAP. But test that hair out for a good 3-4 weeks, not 2 days, you guys. Stop testing hair for 2 days. Test it for a good couple weeks, and then go back and try another texture, because sometimes, again, another tip is the straight hair may be good, but the curly hair may be trash. You have to test out all these different textures. So don't purchase in bulk until you've tested out as many textures as you feel like you want to offer. If you want to stick with one vendor, one Chinese vendor, test out their straight hair first. If it's good, great. Bleach it. Make sure it bleaches. If you're going and you're getting virgin hair from, and then I'm just jumping everywhere, y'all. But if you're buying hair from China, 9 times out of 10 it's Chinese hair. It's Chinese virgin hair. They will tell you that if you ask them. But if you don't know, then they're not gonna say anything. But most of the time, 90% of the time, it is Chinese virgin hair that you are purchasing. Nothing wrong with that. They have good hair. Their hair can be texturized into different things as well. I've been purchasing hair from China for a long time, and I've gotten trash hair, and then once I found the sweet spot, the one factory that supplies a lot of the other small factories, I was able to start getting the good stuff. So you can, if you test out, let's say you want to get virgin hair from China, test out the hair, order the straight, bleach the hair, make sure that your virgin hair is bleaching to a 613, not a number 27, which is this brown, and you're happy with that because it changed color. Make sure it is actually lifting to a 613. That is how you know that you actually have some form of virgin hair. I'm not going to say that it's completely virgin hair, because virgin hair can be mixed as well, but at least you know it's some form of virgin hair, and it's not floor hair or Remy hair, which is hair that just only bleaches up to a certain level, or hair that doesn't bleach at all. So just make sure you are bleaching your hair and doing tests, running those tests on it. All that burn test and all that other stuff, you can do that, but that's a waste of time. The most important thing is bleaching that hair and making sure that that hair can lift to a blonde. If that hair can't lift to a blonde, it's a good chance that you have Remy hair and you have been scammed or you have been lied to. So that's why it's good for you to test the hair first, instead of just basically getting one bundle, wearing it for yourself, and then you just throw it in your head and get a sew-in and dye it jet black. Like, that's not going to do anything for you. Anything can be silky until it starts to rub up against the friction on the back of your neck, or until you start putting heat on it or product on it or whatever, and then it starts to crawl and it starts to turn into a nightmare. So anything can be good. You just have to make sure you are testing that hair out. The best origin of hair that I fell in love with is going to be Russian hair, or my top two is Russian and Cambodian hair, simply because I am a coarse hair girl. I love coarser textures of hair. Russian hair does have silky textures also, but I like more so of their coarse hair. So and then Cambodian hair also has silky textures, but like I said, I like the coarse hair. I just like the feel of it. Those are gonna be my favorite textures of hair. I don't know about anyone else. And then my second to that one, that's my first. My second to that would be C hair, the Southeast Asian hair. Southeast Asian hair is going to be my second favorite. I love the way that that feels. I love the texture of it. I love the silkiness of it, the longevity of it. I just love it. It's actually beautiful hair. I have a supplier for that I have been working with since like 2013, the beginning of 2013. Don't know how I stumbled across this supplier. I don't even remember. I just kind of was researching so much, and then I stumbled across them. And from the first order that I placed with them, the hair was beautiful. Like, from the first order, that was one of my first suppliers that I actually tried Russian hair from, but they didn't have a lot of it, so I ended up getting the Southeast Asian hair. That hair is gorgeous. I love that hair. It's expensive. So I didn't really keep that one. But I did used to use the Southeast Asian hair as a part of like my raw hair collection because it was such a beautiful, gorgeous type of hair. I just loved it so much. But yeah, it's very expensive. If you are getting authentic Southeast Asian hair, you can count on paying quite a pretty penny for that. So you have to make sure that if you are going to be selling that, you have the right audience to market that to, which is going to be your top tier girls, your girls who are like they spend a check on their hair, like they're your models, your people who are in front of the camera and they need the best of the best of
the best of the best of the best, sir.
So you need to choose your audience and your buying audience wisely if you're going to be offering that type of hair. One of my suppliers, I actually have met their entire family. One of my Vietnamese suppliers, I've met their entire family. They've shown me their home that they have in Singapore. They actually live in Singapore, but they have their factory in Vietnam, and they've shown me their entire family. Like that's how good of a relationship I've had with them. They actually make my closures, and what I like about Vietnamese suppliers, not all of them, but some of them, they get their closures made, and a lot of Chinese have started to do it as well by the Koreans. If you don't know, when the Koreans do their, if you have a Korean closure or Korean made frontal, you're gonna have perfection. Like the knots are gonna be very small. They have certain machines and certain materials that can make, and some of them are handmade, so they don't all use machines, but they have like certain methods and materials that they use to make the most realistic looking closures and frontals. That's why sometimes when I have on transparent lace, which is like the one I have on now, this is actually a Remy. Let me clarify, y'all. The hair in the back is different than the hair on this 7x7 here, because this is a 7x7 and this is actually a Remy 7x7. That's the reason for this color right here. And I did that purposely because at the time when I purchased this, I was on a budget, so I just got the cheapest hair that they offered, and that was Remy at the time. So I was happy with that, and it's still good quality. It was still a good quality buy. The transparent lace right here, I'm just getting a little bit up close and personal on the scalp. But if y'all can see, this is actually a Korean made. I did pluck it, so you know, never mind that. But like, this is actually a Korean made transparent lace 7x7 closure. And the knots are extremely small, like very, very small. In the way that they do their method, it makes it look very natural. Some of my Chinese suppliers have started using Korean made closures and stuff. So sometimes, like if they would run out, let's say that I needed closures, I would have to stock up from my specific Chinese supplier, because if I needed a closure, they would be out because they started transitioning from their factory. They would have them still, but their factory made them, and I just did not like the quality of how that looked. I did not like how, if I'm gonna be offering this as a premium to my customer, like selling that with a wig, because sometimes I wouldn't just sell homemade wigs as premium hair. Sometimes people would want to make their own wig or send it to a person that they trust, and they would just buy like the closure in bundles. So but it was still from the premium collection. If I was going to be selling that, I did not want something where the knots were big as hell, and then after you bleach them, you can just still see these big yellow knots or whatever, like in the front. Like you can see that when you are up close to people. I went inside a hair store, like a local hair store around here, when I was trying to pitch my glue and like try to get my glue inside the hair store. And the lady who worked in there, she was so like, she was just looking at my head like, she was like, that's a wig, like, because it was long. I'll probably insert a picture of the hair that I had in, because it was well over 40 inches. Like it had to be like a 42-inch wig that I had on, and I had it like blonde at the ends, like half of it was blonde. I had wore it to Dallas when I was like up there taking pictures, whatever, I forgot. But I had wore it, I had like all black, and I had it in a side ponytail or something like that. But that was the wig that I had on, and the closure that was on it, it was just a 5x5 closure. She was just like, that's a wig, that's a wig. And she wanted to get up close, like she literally wanted to get up close and see. And I let her, you know, I'm just like, I'm trying to sell my glue in here. You can look at it. But, hello? Oh, I thought somebody was knocking. But she got up close and she was looking, she was like, it's so tiny, it looks so real. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not telling you where I got it from. We gonna try to talk about getting his glue in here first. But anyways, y'all, yeah, but that's just how good the closures are from Korea. Now, I will say they won't just make closures for anybody. You can't just reach out to a Korean person, a Korean factory, and think you're gonna get hair made, because of the ones they offer look like the ones that you see in the movies. The actual people who get them made, they send the hair to them, and then they just make it with the material that they have, if that makes sense. And when I'm speaking about this, I don't need people who feel like they're hair experts and, oh, you're wrong, oh, I don't give a damn what you get. I'm telling you what I get. I'm telling you the people that I've been rocking with. It's 2024, so I've been rocking with these people for the last 11, 12 years. So I'm talking about the people that I deal with. I'm not talking about who you deal with. If you can get your stuff made over there, great. That's great for you. I'm speaking about the people I deal with. And that I just want to put that out there before anybody gets in the comments and tries to correct me on something. I'm speaking about my suppliers and the people that they deal with and I deal with, you know. So that's what I'm talking about. But if you can get a factory that does get their closures and frontals made by the Koreans, I recommend it 1000%, because it's gonna give you the most realistic look possible. And that's the only type of closures that I sell. I don't sell, I don't normally sell. I will, because they are cheaper. But I normally offer my closures made like that by my Vietnamese suppliers or my Chinese suppliers that do get their closures made in Korea. That's who I deal with. That's what I sell. And then I will sell some Chinese made closures and frontals and stuff like that, and or wigs made with Chinese closures and frontals. But those are the ones that are normally like on my Express wigs or my Diva wigs or my Goddess wigs. Those are never going to be the ones found on my BPLUX wigs or my premium wigs or my Mad Max wigs. I will never use those for that line. And it's nothing wrong with them. It doesn't make them like worse or anything. They're still small knots. They're still good quality. It's just that it's a difference between the premium and top tier and my lower quality or my more affordable quality. So yeah, I'm trying to see if because I didn't make any notes. This is just coming off the top of my head of things that I've went through. I actually got scammed with these right here, where I purchased over 500 of these, and it got shipped by Seaway. And then once I got it, there were over 100 bottles missing. So, and then when you try to file a claim, they just take you through so much, because some of the stuff came damaged and wet. Some of it was missing. Like I said, over 100 bottles were missing. So I ended up just getting stuck with these. And then some of the labels, the ones in the boxes that were wet, the labels got wet, so it was warped and I had to throw a lot of them away. But I ended up paying over $600 for those things. It's just so much that I've been throughout being in the hair industry and trying to like make money off of it and stuff. A lot of trial and error. I don't have any ebooks and all that stuff. I was gonna write some, but it's just like I'm not gonna be wasting my time writing ebooks when nobody's even watching my videos or nobody's even checking on Instagram or any of that stuff. So I wasn't into like, you know, writing any ebooks and stuff like that, because I don't like to waste my time. I have so many ideas in my head that I'd rather put that energy towards something else. And if there are people who are interested to know what I know, you can reach out to me, and then, you know, we can come up with something then. I was selling vendors list at one point, but then I stopped because girls would start buying the vendors list, and then they would get the information, and then they would go and do a chargeback with their banks. So I stopped doing that. I know now you can put things in like a digital format, and once they download it, they're screwed. But when I was selling it, I didn't have that option. So therefore I would, therefore I would get scammed out of like vendor information and money or whatever. So I stopped offering vendors lists. I actually had a longtime customer that would buy from me a lot reach out to me a couple weeks ago and ask me like, hey, are you still selling vendors lists? And I had to tell her, no, I'm not, because of that situation. I just got tired of dealing with the whole going back and forth and trying to prove that you know, they actually did purchase this or that. And then when you're using PayPal as a payment method, PayPal is always going to be on the buyer side, not the seller side most of the time. And I just got tired of that. Like, for me to have to pay PayPal fees and then have to return money, and then you got the information from like my hard work of me sourcing and spending hours looking and testing and spending my money, and then you get the information and you just do a chargeback. Like, come on, sis, like you a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you're watching this, sis, you a piece of shit. So you know, yeah, and if I was to ever see you in person, girl, it'll be knuckle up, me and you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any hair to show y'all. Like, you know, I don't really have, because I haven't ordered hair in such a long time. I probably, I would show you guys like some of my boxes, but I boxed up a lot of them when I redid my beauty room. But let me show y'all my Mad Max boxes, and I'll show y'all my premium boxes, and the other ones I'll just put like inserts of what those collections and stuff used to look like, because I don't have any hair or wigs or anything on hand. I just haven't purchased them a lot, and when I do purchase, I normally will purchase for myself, like you know, or something like that now. And then once I revamp everything and start back selling hair, then I'll have more hair like bundles and closures and things like that on hand to show you guys. But for now, it's just that's just how it is. But let me show y'all what those boxes used to look like for my Mad Max and my premiums real quick. Okay, y'all, so I'm back. So I did grab those two boxes, but I also because I'm gonna try to end this video, y'all. This has been a long video. I actually went and got me a drinky drink. This is just orange juice and that new vodka that I was telling you guys about in my last video. If y'all know, y'all know. If y'all watched my last video, my last vlog, where I went to the liquor store and picked up my third bottle. But this stuff right here, cheers, cheers. But that's what I'm drinking. It gives me a nice good buzz. It's just really, really good, y'all. Doesn't give me stomach aches, doesn't make me feel any type of way. It did put me on my ass one night when I was actually like drinking shot after shot, and it actually put me on my ass. It put me on the floor. Like, it put me in the fetal position where I could not move. Like, I was so fucked up. So I do not recommend doing that. But as like a sip and a good, you just want to buzz, you just want to, girl, go run and get you some Ocean Organic vodka, okay? Back to what I was speaking about the wigs. So I did grab my box. I only have two boxes. So this one was my Mad Max wigs box, and it's kind of giving Hermes a bit, but this is the box that if you order a Mad Max wig, it would come in one of these boxes, because the box is so big, because you would get quite a bit of stuff. So it would have, like, you know, your wig would come inside this orange organza bag right here, and then inside every wig box you would get an elastic band, a pair of clips, you would get a wig cap. I always give like a dark wig cap in the HD. These are old, but I would normally give like a normal one and an HD one so that it could fit all skin tones and stuff. And then you would also get a pair of tweezers inside of your wig box. And then I don't have it in here, but I would do like a little glue duo where I would give you a lace gel, which is to form your baby hairs, and I would give you an actual small little lace glue that came in like one of the tubes, where you could be able to use that to apply your wig. So this was my Mad Max boxes. They look like this. It was definitely giving Hermes to me. I love this orange for my Mad Max. So this was like the wig tag right here, and then it just came with, like, you know, whatever wig that you ordered on the back. And then this right here was the thank you card for the Mad Max wigs, because these particular wigs, the Mad Max wigs, were the wigs that you get customized. Like, you basically, we had some that would be stock that like were wigs that I would wear. So if I had a pink wig on that was pink ombre, I would get those made, and then those would be like my stock wigs. Or a yellow wig, those would be my stock wigs. If you don't like my stock wigs, then you could go in and customize your own wig. It'll come to us, you send us like a photo of inspiration. If you want it like half brown, half black, or blonde, dark roots, whatever, you just put all that stuff in there, put it in the notes. It comes to us when you place your order. Then you get like a 2 to 3 week quote, because we do have to customize your wig for you. You know, stuff has to dry, etc., whatever. And then we would send you photos of the finished wig. You approve it or not. If you do approve it, we will go ahead and get it shipped. If you do have different things, oh, it's not blonde enough, oh, it's not this, then we will have to go back and make more further customizations. So that the time of the wig being finished depended on the customer, because it depended on how many like revamps you wanted, or how many revamps you actually did to your wig. So that's how that worked with my Mad Max wigs. People actually love that, and they would place orders. But this was my Mad Max collection. Okay, y'all, so I had to break this video up into like maybe like 2 parts. But the first one where I was recording and I was doing my hair, but this one, y'all, this is like where I wanted to talk about how to actually set your business up. So I've seen a lot of people not understanding where to do domains, how to do their LLC, where to get an EIN, like your website, etc. So I did want to come and talk about that, and give you some of the places that I used when I was setting mine up. One of the first places that I did go to was LegalZoom. If you guys are looking to have your LLC set up by an actual company because you don't know where to start and to do it yourself, I do recommend LegalZoom, and I'll pop like a screenshot up here of how to go through the process. They have 3 different sectors that you can choose from. The basic, where you just pretty much just want your business to become official, and you want you don't want them to do all the work, you do most of everything. And then they have another one, and that one is $0, it's free. But then they have another one that I believe is like $230 something, and then $299, where you want them to do completely everything for you. So if you are looking to have your LLC set up by an actual company, I do recommend using LegalZoom, and you can pick and choose which one is right for your budget. If you want them to set everything up, you know it's going to cost you about $300, and they're going to set everything up for you. LLC, get your domain. I even believe they help with domains and all of that stuff, so you guys can check LegalZoom out. If you are trying to do things on your own and you get kind of confused by forms, where you're just like, what form, how am I going to fill out these forms? It's actually easier than you think. And the next place for that you can check out is Rocket Lawyer, and I'll leave that like right here on the screen where you can check that website out. I've used Rocket Lawyer for a lot of things because I've actually set up my business and used forms for my husband's trucking company, as well as for my own hair business when I was setting stuff up. This is nothing somebody gave me. This is not something that somebody coached me and gave me or whatever. I actually found this out by doing research on my own, and these documents have actually gotten my husband and I approved for like SBA loans, where we've gotten over $100,000. So these documents are legitimate. They do work, and I recommend that you check out Rocket Lawyer if you are doing everything on your own and you just want, like, you know, you need to find where to get official forms, all you have to do is type in your state and they will give you all of the regulation. Like, they will give you the proper form to fill out for your particular state. I'm in Texas, so I chose Texas, and then it will give me how Texas is supposed to be mapped out in order to get you exactly where you need legitimately. And then I know I'm kind of running through this kind of quick, but I just want to give you guys the information that you need instead of lingering on everything. If you are new to starting a business, any business, whether it's your hair business or whatever, you do need to go to the irs.gov to get an EIN number, and there you can be able to choose what you are setting your company up as, whether you're doing a S Corp or you're doing an LLC. Me personally, I set my husband's trucking company up as a S Corp. We did start out as an LLC because as an LLC, you know, it's hard. If someone does sue you, they sue the LLC instead of attaching to your personal finances or whatever. And it's the same with any company, whether it's hair or whatever. So if you would like to get an LLC, you can specify on the IRS website. Like, they have the options here where you just pick and choose what you're setting your business up as. I do recommend that you know the difference in between all of the different businesses. Like I said, S Corp is considered a corporation. And the reason I chose S Corp is because it does have like a different taxation than the LLC. As an LLC, you are being taxed as self-employed, so you probably are going to pay more. I don't know if people knew that or not, but you know, the LLC comes with its benefits as well as its downs. So the benefits are you can, you know, someone can sue the LLC instead of you personally, but you are responsible for a self-employment tax because a lot of things have changed ever since everybody did this big boom of starting their own businesses in 2020. So you do need to be aware of that. S Corp is actually taxed like separately. It's personal. You do have to pay like a personal tax, but it's just different. I feel like the LLC works for what I have. I mean, not the LLC, I'm sorry. The S Corp works for what I have going on. So you just have to choose what's right for you. So make sure you do your research to find out which one suits your needs. You know your personal situation, you know your business situation, and you have to choose the one that's right for you. But you can head over to the irs.gov to get your EIN number, and you have to do it during their business hours because they don't just issue them out during every day of the week. You know, the weekends when they're closed, you don't get an EIN. So you have to actually wait until business hours and do it within those time frames for you to get your EIN number that same day. So yeah, if you're looking to get an EIN number, head over to the irs.gov, which I will put a pop-up somewhere in this area. And then the last thing that I recommend you guys do if you are trying to get like a website or a domain, well, really a website, I'll start with the website first. Getting a website, my recommendation is to separate yourself. Like if you have the finances and the means to have someone actually build you a website outright where it's yours, you don't pay a fee every month to Shopify or any of that stuff for using their platform, I recommend doing that. Sometimes it can range anywhere, depending on who you use, it can range anywhere between $200 to maybe $600, sometimes $1,000 to get your own website built out. But that's how I did mine. I did start off with Shopify, and then after all those fees and then waiting to get paid, you know, they're taking a certain percentage. I'd rather just get my own website built out and then add in the payment methods. You can have whoever is your graphic designer add in the payment methods that you want. I included PayPal as well as I think I had Stripe and I had Afterpay attached so that people could be able to have those options to make payments on my site. You can do it however you want to do it for your own, but that's what I had my graphic designer attached to mine, where sometimes people didn't have the money to pay and they could use Afterpay and use that on my website and then make the purchase of the wigs or whatever they were buying from me. So that's a good thing to have when you are building your own website out. But then if you're using something like Shopify or Wix or Squarespace, you do have to keep in mind that you have to not only pay their monthly fee that they're asking, which is probably $30 something a month, but you also have to pay for like a certain percentage of like sales that you may get, you know, etc. And then you have to wait for them to pay out after they take their fees. Sometimes they don't take their fees on time, and then you end up basically having to wait, and then by the time you think you have a certain amount of money, it's less than that once they take everything out. So those are things you do have to keep in mind when you're trying to source for a website. But as far as getting a domain, I used to use Google domains, but Google has since then, I guess the Google domain part has been sold to Squarespace. So when you do when you Google Google domains, it's going to take you to Squarespace, and I'm going to pop that in here as well so you can see that. But it's going to take you to Squarespace, and you have to purchase the domain from there. You just simply type in whatever your business name is in their search bar, and then they'll pop up and show you what they have available. And a lot of those domains will range between $12 at the least, I believe, to probably like $50 or something. It just depends on what your ending point is on your website. So if you choose a .net, that may be $14. A .com, that's $12. If you start getting fancy and you want all these other things on the end, it's gonna go up in price, if that makes sense, because you're doing something that's a little bit more unique than what they actually offer. So you can go up to like $50-something paying for a domain. You just need to pick and choose which one is suitable for your price range and what you're actually looking to accomplish when you are putting your website and your business out there for customers to find you. Normally people, you know, when they're typing in Google, everything is a .com or a .net or a .org. So when you start going outside of that, you have to keep in mind the SEO that you're basically putting yourself in, which is the search engine. I forgot what the O is, but I think it's the search engine optimization or something like that, where you get put in a pool for people to find you when they go and Google your business name. So you just get put in this one big pool, and you have to keep that in mind when you are purchasing your domains. Don't get anything crazy where Google won't really recognize it, and then you get, when someone's typing in for your business, it's like 1 million plus or 11 million plus that comes up, and you just basically get lost in those searches. So you don't want to do that. So I would recommend that you do keep it common with the .com or a .org or a .net, so that you could easily be findable, and then put in keywords for when you do a domain and you're doing everything properly. You need to put in keywords like what your business is about. If you're selling shirts, you need to put in something about clothing or t-shirts or apparel. You need to put those words in so that when people are searching, they can easily find you. When it comes to hair, you can put in hair. If you're selling hair products with your hair, you need to put in glue, you need to put in mousse, you need to put in you know, serum. You need to just put in those words in the bar at the bottom. It's just like the hashtags on social media, so that when people are searching, you don't know how people are searching, but when they're putting things in and searching, you'll be able to come up regardless of whatever words they put in. Your business will fall in that line. You guys know when you go on Google and search, it's that first page. You want to end up on that first or that second page. You don't want to end up on the other millions of other pages where people don't click past the third page to try to look and search through businesses. You want to end up on that first or second page, so make sure you are using proper SEOs, or you have your graphic designer putting proper SEOs in when they're setting up your website, if you don't go with Shopify or some other place. But I did want to, I know that was kind of fast. I'm sorry, you guys, but I just wanted to squeeze that into this video, because this video is already like an hour and something long, where I'm just giving you guys the tea, giving you guys the industry secrets. Because a lot of the times when I was searching for this stuff, people were not putting it out there on what to look for, on how to find certain things, like how to do a website, how to do EINs, you know, stuff like that. Even when it comes to like business credit and things like that, Dun & Bradstreet is going to be your best friend, you know, to like build business credit. And then you need to be getting different lines, like with Uline or with Mauser, or just trying to get different retailers up on. If you shop at Sam's, apply for their business credit to get you some business credit using your EIN number. Don't use your personal social, just use your EIN number and see if you can get approved with Sam's business credit, and that can help you build as well. If you're already shopping there, getting stuff like paper and ink and whatever your business is, you can be able to use those things to help you build business credit. And so those are things that I wish people would have said to me whenever I was like doing things and coming up with stuff, because it took so much research and so much time. But I just wanted to help you guys out with that. So like I said, I'm sorry if I talk pretty fast, but I am going to insert a lot of the things in here so you guys can know the websites and things that I use to get started with my hair company, as well as the other businesses that I have with my husband, and hopefully it can help you guys out. But we're gonna get back to the other juicy details of this video to help you all with starting your hair business one-on-one. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy about speaking. Don't be shy about asking questions. I'm here to help you guys as best as I can. So let's get back to the rest of the video. Premium collection came in boxes like this. This one is a little bit cloudy, but with a chance of meatballs, but I'm gonna wipe it off as best I can. But this was my premium wig box right here. It's just this silver, really silver pretty wig. You can see all my stuff in the background, but it's just like this really pretty silver box right here. As y'all can see, it was in these. This is like my premium raw. Anything that came in this box, you know it's raw, you know it's good quality. It came with a black silk bag like this, and then the tissue paper inside this one was just silver tissue paper. And it came with the exact same things as the Mad Max wig, the glue, the clips, the elastic band, and stuff like that. And then the premium wigs, theirs looked like this. This was the tags for the premium wigs right here. So it had like the diamonds on it, the pink and the black. And then I'll just show you my express wig collection. So this one was my express wig collection one. It was just red and black. So this was the express wigs. These were the more affordable ones. It was actually the artist Dolce. She had wore this wig, and she wore this wig on stage, and she actually wore it to the Breakfast Club. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, I was so annoyed like with that interview where Charlemagne basically commented on her hair like twice, and she didn't even mention where she got it from. And I actually sent her that wig for free, and she didn't even mention where she got it from. Like it's almost like he gave her the opportunity to mention where she got the wig from, or shout out where she got the wig from twice, and she didn't.
Your baby hairs are phenomenal.
I'm so happy to be here. You have no idea.
We happy that you're here.
You guys are icons. Do you know that? I know you know.
No.
So
We're
excited.
just happy to do the work.
Yeah, we just happy to be here.
Your baby hairs are phenomenal though.
My baby hairs?
What? The way them shit laid,
Thank you.
they are amazing.
The actual collection of wigs that she was wearing, which was my more affordable wig collection, and it was in my red box. So those were the express wigs. A lot of people did love the express wigs because of the affordability, and you were still getting the quality with those. Now those were like more so of Remy wigs, because those were the ones that wouldn't bleach. You know, you can't bleach them past the number 27. In some cases you could, if you actually use a certain lifting powder, but most cases it was 27, especially if you were using like the BW2s and stuff like that. But you could get it to lift a little higher, but it's not, you normally 27 is the most that you could get the express wigs to lift to, but the quality was still there. And then the next step up from those wigs was our goddess collection, and the goddess collection was just basically gold like this. So if you were looking, this was actually virgin hair. So if you were looking for a step up above the express wigs, it was a little bit more in price for the goddess collection, which was our gold boxes. Really pretty boxes. I did get quite a few orders for these. Knots were really small. Bleaches up to 613. Those wigs were good seller. The goddess wig collection was a good seller for people who basically wanted virgin hair without the virgin hair price tag. In my BPLUX collection, which was one step below my silver boxes, my premium, my BPLUX collection was like this. This was my BPLUX. This one right here was premium virgin hair. Like, this was my 1 to 2 donors. This one right here, the difference in between the virgin hair for the Goddess and the BPLUX is the Goddess had virgin hair, which had about probably 3 to 4 donors, 4 donors, stuff like that, because virgin hair does have more than one donor. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but virgin hair does have more than one donor. But it's still of good quality. It's like I was saying before, where you if you want a fuller bundle and you go and you ask them to just go and choose people who have kind of similar hair textures to make you a fuller bundle, that's what virgin hair is. As far as my BPLUX collection, that was a higher virgin quality hair than the Goddess collection, the gold one, because we only used about 1 to 2 donors at the most with these. 2 donors at the most, no more than that. And most of that hair was spot on where my vendor went and made sure that either there were family members who were in the same household, that like either sisters who both had like similar hair, you know, and stuff, and they were both selling their ponytails, so they could put those together. So it actually was coming from the same genetic line of people. So it's just like sisters who may have, you know, 2 24-inch ponytails to sell as a bundle, or, you know, mother-daughter. And then every single one of my wigs would come with one of my Hey Gorgeous care cards. So you just basically get recommended products. It had right here like recommended products and care tips and stuff, and then it would have our products on the back that we recommend to use. Of course, me looking gorgeous, but it would have like, you know, care tips, and I would give you guys like, you know, tips on to how to help maintain your hair extensions and etc. or whatever. So that's basically how I ran my hair company. I would do things like that, put stuff together in that order so that I could be able to, girl, the drink is kicking in. I don't know how to put it. Like, I would be able to reach out to different audiences without having to reach out to different audiences. I don't know, girl. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I would do mine. Like, I would, so that everybody, basically, it was giving Kim Kardashian everybody, fit everybody. You know what I'm saying? My wigs would fit everybody. So I had wigs for everybody. And if you couldn't afford my $1,500 wigs, I had wigs that you could afford that were like $100. Now, I don't have my Diva wigs. My Diva wigs were in black and white boxes. I'll insert a clip of those, but those were the absolute cheapest. But most of the Diva wigs that I offer only came in transparent lace, and they were 13x4. They only came transparent, so those were the absolute cheapest quality wigs that I could offer on the site. Some of those were as low as maybe like, I don't know, $60 for like a 12-inch. So it was giving Amazon quality hair. Like, I'm not, no shade to anybody who gets off Amazon, but it was like, my Diva wig collection was like the Amazon quality, where you could find a good quality $60 wig, and it would last you about, 1 to 2 months or 6 months at the most if you do know how to take care of your hair. In order from least to top quality, the least was the Diva wigs, the next one was the Express wigs, then the next one up was the Goddess wigs, and then it was the BPLUX wigs, and then it was the Mad Max wigs, and then it was the premium raw hair wigs. So that's how my tiers of hair went up. That's how I marketed my stuff. No one really paid attention to it, and most people were just there to basically like steal ideas. I'm just saying. Y'all were there to steal ideas, be real. But because I even had to block a particular girl off my Instagram because she was just taking so much stuff. And girl, you were selling wigs that was like $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 to celebrities. Why are you watching my page and taking my ideas? Like, come up with your own, sis. Be for real. But I had to block sis off my Instagram. But anyways, that's basically what I was doing. I don't know if I gave out, hopefully y'all, I gave out some good tips that you guys could use when you are communicating with vendors and stuff. I did give you guys some good pointers to use when you are reaching out to ask certain questions, because y'all, communication is a real thing when you are talking to these people overseas, because they are about business. They are trying to sell you a product. They are hustlers. So, you know, you can't just come to them mediocre and think you're going to be talking about, you know, oh, I want the best quality. Oh, what's the best? Stop asking them what's the best this that they have, and know what you're talking about when you come in there. Like, go in there acting as if you know exactly what you're looking for, and they will treat you as such. If you go in acting like you have knowledge, even if you don't know what you're talking about from a hole in the wall, go in speaking to them acting as if you know what you're talking about, and they will treat you as such. Like, they will treat you, okay, this person, they're asking for this. Oh, you must be, you know, and they'll even tell you sometimes, like, oh, you must be very well knowledgeable. Oh, you have such good knowledge about this and this and that. And they'll start telling you stuff. Girl, sometimes they'll even tell you who they supply to if you are asking the right way. Like, that's how I have found out who a lot of these other girls' vendors are. Now, I'm not saying that that's a great thing, because to me, that shows that the vendor has no loyalty in basically holding any water about who their clientele is. And I really don't like to work with vendors who will openly tell me who they supply to. I don't care to know who you supply to, but sometimes it's like a voila moment in the fact. Like, sometimes people will tell me that they're a certain person's vendor, and if I haven't already been buying from them and tested their quality and like their quality, I probably won't shop with them, because you told me who this person's vendor is, that you're this person's vendor, and you're so willing and open to show me pictures of their packaging, of you like packaging their hair. I can only imagine what you're gonna do to me if I start buying in large quantities from you. So I'm not gonna buy or shop with you, because you're exposing basically who this person's vendor is. Like, I don't really like to deal with vendors who operate like that. I feel like that's bad business practices, and I would normally just kind of like put a check mark in my head that I'm moving in the right direction, and then I'll move on to someone else, or I'll start sourcing somewhere else. I don't normally like to deal with vendors who are open to expose who their clients are, because that shows that you have no loyalty. So if I start doing business with you and I end up making $4 million in sales, I don't want you blabbing that information to the next John, Sally, or Susan who comes along and just asks you, and you're just showing them my packaging, or you're showing them, you know, my logo or my verbiage that I put on my packages and stuff. So I don't like to deal with vendors like that, and I don't recommend that y'all do it either. But, you know, to each his own. You can deal with things however you see fit for you and your business, but I just don't roll like that. But yeah, y'all, when y'all are going in talking to these vendors, try to make sure that you sound at least like you know what you're talking about. Be specific in what you're looking for, so that they don't tend to put in the mind frame of already shitting on you, like, or sending you hair that's no good, or basically bouncing you all over the place, giving you the runaround within their factory. Because one thing that I know, that I bet a lot of y'all didn't know, is often there is one big factory that supplies all the little factories that come up with their own names and their own LTDs. So when you be seeing all these other factories with these names and LTDs, they're normal. They will separate themselves from the bigger factory. But if you can find the mother ant, then you will see who supplies all the other worker ants. So when you start dealing with the mother ant, that's when you're able to get the good pricing. That's when you're able to get the good hair, because a lot of the times The smaller factories that are nibbling off of that one big factory is basically they're setting their own prices. They're getting the hair that the big factory is overstocked on and basically can't sell. So they're getting that hair, they're buying that hair, and they're getting off that hair to you guys. They're giving you that hair. That's the 10As, the 12As, the, you know, oh, this is our best quality. They're shaking it in front of you. And I tell a lot of my vendors often when they're actually like presenting hair to me, like, I hate when factories are just like this with the hair. Like, stop doing that. Just stop it. Like, stop it. Girl, stop shaking the damn hair so I can see it. Stop shaking the hair. Could you hold the hair still in the camera so that I can see the top and the bottom? Could you hold the hair still in the camera so that I can be able to actually see what the strands look like, so I can see if there are any flyaways? Because I don't want hair that has flyaways all throughout the hair. That lets me know that you have a lot of different lengths in your hair. That lets me know that that's Remy hair. That lets me know you just picked up any hair. That's probably hack hair where you guys were like putting it through that machine to get all the short pieces out, and you gathered it all up and put it inside of a bundle. That's not what I'm looking for. Then I do often recommend that you guys do live video with them, like where you actually go live with them on the phone and let them show you around their factory. Let them show you, you know, you don't want to see, you know, other people's stuff unless that's just who you are. But let them show you around the factory. Let them show you, like, you know, ask them like, what's their latest printing? Could you show me what your packaging looks like? You know, just let them show you around and do an actual video where you're walking around with them. So if you can't get over there to the factory, at least you can be on the phone so you can see some of this stuff. Even if you don't give a damn about it, you can just, to them, you give a damn about it enough to get on the video call. They can see your face and you can see theirs, and they'll take you more seriously. Those are my tips that I recommend if you are looking to shop and looking for like a vendor or whatever. If you guys do have any questions that I can answer off the top, I don't mind answering them in the comments below. But anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you were able to take some type of pointers and get some type of, you know, either inspiration or information. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. And do not forget to like, thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. And yeah, we will see you guys in a whole nother video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.
It's best for me. Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Pisces,